cook the fish. I think the biggest problem is we didn't keep an eye on it. Now, this Mediterranean dish is beautiful. It's got some quite nice flavours to it, but please do me one little favour. Keep a careful eye on the fish. Don't overcook it. Don't just throw it in the oven and forget about it. First of all, to start, I've got some potatoes which I have sliced. Now, I have cooked those for 10 minutes, so you don't want them overcooked. For 10 minutes, and then I've just drained them. Now, do me another favour. I'm asking for a lot of favours here today. Please don't run them under cold water when you take them out, you know, like people normally do, because that makes the potatoes very waterlogged. So just put them in a strainer and just leave them to get cold enough to handle. All right, so I've got, what would we say, about 3 potatoes there cut in half. Then I've got some fresh herbs here, which I've also started chopping. I've got basil, parsley and rosemary. Now, I want it chopped, and just careful, there's a bit of very ordinary basil there, so keep an eye on it. But I want this reasonably finely chopped, but, you know, not like you do chopped parsley. Because I obviously want some texture from the rosemary. So we'll just put that to the side and we'll scatter some of that. I'll just bring this over, Harry, because it's a bit awkward over there, even for me. Just scatter some of that over, quite a bit, over the top. And then we'll season that reasonably well with freshly ground salt and pepper. And to that, I'm then going to add some canned tomatoes in season, use fresh. Now, I've drained those and just chopped them. Actually, you know how some people rang in and asked whether I owned a parsley farm? I think they'll be asking whether I own a cannery of tomatoes. But it's that time of the year you should be using the canned ones rather than the fresh ones, because the fresh aren't great at this time of the year. All right, we'll just put that to the side. Now, some saffron. Nice threads of that. I'd say about a teaspoon. And then I add a little bit of hot water to that. That's just to release the flavours of that saffron. If you put it in and it hasn't been soaked at all, you can find that you don't release any of the flavours. You just have lumps of saffron. As you can see, the colours going into that water already. All right, we will leave that to the side. The fish itself, let's talk fish. Hapuka or groper, whichever you like to call it. In New Zealand we called it hapuka. I think it's normally called groper in this country. Now that's about 500 grams, 600 grams in the piece. Don't buy it in steaks, and make sure that they take the bones out and take the skin off for you. And what we will then do is just cut it into some decent chunks. You certainly want it even thickness and definitely not too thin. All right, once again, let's bring that over. We'll just put these on top. Don't lay them on top of each other, please. Just like that. Once again, a little bit of seasoning, salt and pepper. You know, it's funny, I'm standing there, and because I've got this on a bit of a lean, I started to lean. I am a little bit strange on a good day, aren't I? That's a worry. I really did. I had this sort of lean on. Now, the saffron, to that I'm going to add about 3/4 of a cup of wine. Just a reasonably dry wine. Chardonnay or something like that. And we'll just pour it over the top of this fish, making sure we moisten the lot. All right, now, into a 180-degree oven, I reckon for about 18 minutes. Look, 15 to 20. Check it, please, after about 12. But in all fairness, I reckon it'll take 18 to 20 minutes. It actually only took about 12 minutes. And look, it's nice and tender. That's good. It's looking good. All right, just a couple of extra little things. First of all, We'll put some of it onto a plate, making sure we get the vegetables and things underneath it as well. I'll get some of the juices out. Alright, let's put that to the side. And then some garlic mayonnaise. Now look, this is not essential, but I actually feel that it adds just that extra little bit of flavour to it. Just a highlight. So just half a cup of mayonnaise, a couple of cloves of garlic. You just put 1 clove if you like. And then we'll put a good dollop of that on the top. And a little bit more of those chopped herbs that we chopped before. And that's a Mediterranean dish that really is very simple, as you've seen, but it's got some real flavour.